Good morning, Wednesday the 13th of April. And the walk I'm doing today is from Pershore station back to Evesham via the Combertons, Little and Great Comberton, Pricklands and Copthorne. I've just got in off the train, Pershore station, which is actually in the village of Pinvin. But it may as well be part of Pershore now because there's so much house building been going on that it's all one place. But Pinvin is still a little village in its own right. It's got its own school, pub and a church. It all just seems to be one place now. Anyway, we're heading towards Pershore now and I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, walking across Avon Meadows now, which is a wetland, wildlife and wetland alongside the River Avon. We're heading in towards Pershore itself now. Pershore, well, quite famous for the abbey, and also there's a monastery that was standing on the same grounds as the abbey and was actually bigger than Worcester Cathedral. It was burnt down in the 10th century, rebuilt in the 12th century. Pershore is also famous for the plum festival in the summer. Well, it's the beginning of August, I'm not quite sure on the date. We're very famous for that, and it's got its own plum as well, which is the Pershore purple plum. Yeah, well, that's well worth attending. There's many independent shops here, leisure centre, pubs. Also famous here, Toya Wilcox, the 70s, 80s actress, singer. She lives in Pershore. And the other bit I can tell you about it here is the old bridge, which we'll be crossing over shortly. The stone for that was taken from the remains of Elmy Castle when that came down, so not sure on the date. We're knocking on quite a bit, I think, about 1500 something. Also you've got the Horticultural College here, just outside of Pershore. Okay, I'll come back to you shortly. There's some damage caused by fires there. Shows how easily it can burn, doesn't it? The reeds are quite dry here. A bit more of the wetland there. Some boardwalks. Just coming into Pershore now. If you look front there, you can see the abbey sticking up. I'm still going along this boardwalk, Avon Meadows. Really nice and interesting this is if you're into this sort of thing. Let's come again and have a look. I didn't realise it was all here. Let's come again. Let's walking down Bridge Street now towards the bridge before we turn off right towards Evesham and head out towards Great Comberton, which is at the foot of the Breeden Hill, on the north side of Breeden Hill I think it is. I'll come back to you shortly. If we look just over there, that is the old bridge I was talking about, which was built from the stone, with the stone that was from the ruins of Elmy Castle. So only a walk bridge now, and this is the modern road bridge. Okay, soon we come up to the village of Great Comberton. Walking alongside the River Avon at the moment. And this is part of the Witch Avon Way. That goes on up over the hill. I've done that before, so I'll do it again, hopefully this year. A bit about the village. It's 2.5 miles from Pershore on the northern slopes of Breeden Hill, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty. Mary Brook flows into the Avon here, and the village is mentioned in the Domesday Book. You've got the Church of St Michael and All Angels, a Grade II listed building built between the 12th and 15th century. There's Iron Age and Roman artefacts found in the area, and the local phone box is now the village library. That seems to be happening in a lot of villages. They're either libraries or where defibrillators are kept. I've seen the odd one which is a bike repair centre as well, with tools, pumps, patches, etc. They're getting used for all sorts of things instead of being ripped down. I'll give you a couple of pictures as we come up into the village. Some nice old thatched properties here, black and white properties. There's not much else. It is just a small village. There's no pubs, clubs or anything like that, schools. And that's about it. Like the nearest school actually here is Elmy Castle, so children from Great Comberton, Little Comberton go to Elmy Castle first school. Just on the edge of Great Comberton now. We'll come up from the river, turn left. There's a war memorial there. Turn left there, take it back to Pershaw. We're going to go turn around to the right and cross the fields and come out in Little Comberton. Okay, we'll shortly be in Little Comberton. I'll tell you a bit about the village. Only a small village, same as Great Comberton. Got St Peter's Church, it's 12th century church. Probably built on the site of a Roman temple. And quite a few Roman artefacts have actually been found in the churchyard. The school, well, what used to be the school is now the village hall, and this once actually stood in the corner of the churchyard, but was took down and rebuilt in its present situation, which I shall point out to you when we get there. There's a 16th century manor house and Nash's farm, supposedly owned by Catherine Parr, sixth wife of Henry the Seventh. Yeah, Henry the Seventh. Or Henry the Eighth? Not sure. And the village contains quite a few black and white cottages, thatched again, very, very similar to Little Comberton. Sorry, Great Comberton. Not much else. Again, the local school for there is in Elmy Castle. I'll point out the school and the village hall and the church. The church has actually got a duck pond at the side of it as well, so I'll probably show you that. Okay. Some lovely little beauties there. Love looking at the lambs this time of year. Absolutely beautiful. It didn't bother me too much, it's unusual. Okay, this was what was the school, now the village hall. And I say it was moved from a corner in the churchyard. I think that the bit at the back there was built in 2006. This at the front here is the original part. Okay, I don't know if you can see just in the distance there the small hamlet of Bricklehampton. Now then, it's basically a small hamlet between the villages of Little Comberton, where I've just come from, and Elmy Castle. Is another one that's mentioned in the Domesday Book. And the large building here, we won't be able to see it I think today, that's Bricklehampton Hall. Built in 1848 and is now a nursing home, has been for some years. You've got the Grade 2 listed St Michael and All Angels Church, a 12th century church and rebuilt in 1875. And the strange thing about this, the name of the village, Bricklehampton, its claim to fame is that it's the longest isogrammatic place name in England. And isogrammatic meaning that there are no repeated letters in the word Bricklehampton. So small it is, it's got a little bit of fame to it, so there we go. I might get a closer up picture to get nearer to it, but I'm skirting the very edge of it today. Okay, and shortly we should be coming into Cropthorne. A bit about Cropthorne. It's located on a small ridge overlooking the River Avon. It's across the river from Fladbury. The two are separated by Jubilee Bridge, which is built to commemorate Queen Victoria. A church there, St Michael's, it's a grade 1 12th century building. Many of the 16th and 17th century timber framed thatch houses in the village. Half of the village is actually a conservation area. It has a primary school there, or first school, shared with Charlton. 2 pubs on the main road. The Bell Inn, which was shut for renovations, was never reopened, and the New Inn, which is still trading. Every year they have the Cropthorne walkabout, and it's basically many of the historic gardens in the village are open to the public, and you can go from one to another. It's also on the Blossom Trail, which is held every year around about this time. There's many orchards in the area. There's also Cropthorne Court. It was built on the site of King Offa's summer palace, and reportedly King Edward I and King Charles I also visited there. And that's it for now. Okay, shortly we'll be crossing the gallops of racehorse trainer Tony Carroll, who with his wife own Millhouse Racing, based at the Cropthorne Stud, which we'll be just coming up to in a moment. Before being a trainer, Tony rode 254 winners as a jockey, and trains around 50 winners a year on the flat and jumps. So he's a dual racing, national hunt and flat racing. He's got 2 all-weather tracks, 70 stables, paddocks, etc. Some of the horses there. One of the gallops. See the white fencing down there. Come across the other one in a minute. Some more right there. Some of the jumps I used for training over. Some more there. There's the other gallops and the jumps. Imagine that's where the stables are there and along there. Right, heading back towards Evesham now. Okay, we're just back into Evesham now. So I'll sign off. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll carry on doing some more. I'll see you next time. It was about 14 miles today, so take care, see you again.